All right, folks, grade the job the Cowboys have done this past offseason with kickoff for Week 1 just a few days away. We're going to talk contract extension stuff here coming up in a minute, which could impact your grade. But so far, grade it for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Let's begin with where things sit on the Dak Prescott contract extension. Dak has this year and next year left on his contract with a giant 2024 cap hit. Now, worst comes to worst, the Cowboys can get that 2024 number, which is approaching $60 million, down significantly with a simple restructure. That would also push whatever money you save into 2025 as a void year. The simplest solution is to extend your quarterback, and Ian Rappaport of NFL Network had some very insightful information on where that sits as it relates to Prescott and the Cowboys contract talks. Saying, quote this, asked about when a Dak deal extension could happen, he says, probably this offseason, meaning this upcoming one. I know there was some discussion about whether or not they would do a deal this past offseason. They just restructured and said, we'll deal with it next offseason. With all due respect to our show and everything we do, this shouldn't be news. Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know where he ranks, but his offense is really good. His team was really good last year and is going to be really good this year. He's their quarterback. Really, it's an accounting question of how you handle his huge cap hit next year and how do you make this make sense. I don't get the sense Dak is going anywhere. With all due respect to Trey Lance, who is still the number 3 QB, I don't think it has anything to do with him or Cooper Rush. Now, Ian ain't lying there. Everything Ian said was true. It would be nice to get the deal done earlier because Dak already has immense leverage over the Cowboys organization, which will only continue to grow when he's got a no-tag and a no-trade clause next year, entering the final year of his contract. But I am of the belief you should know what you have in Dak Prescott. We can get all worked up as we want over the interception numbers from last year, but if we are being objective and honest in our evaluation, acknowledging that it was way too many, if you just take away the ones, or even some of the ones that were clearly the wide receiver's fault, not the ones that maybe deep down the team will never admit because he's still there, that might have been on Michael Gallup because you ran the wrong route or something, etc., or Lamb admitted he ran some wrong routes as well. Take away just the ones that were only the receiver's fault, it's not a conversation. There's not much you can ask your quarterback to do differently when it's 4th and a couple of yards and you roll out and you find receiver under pressure, hits him right in the chest and he drops in and it's picked off. Like, happened multiple times last year. Not necessarily on 4th down, but it happened multiple times. That's not really the quarterback's fault. You've had an offense that has produced at a top 5 level when he's been healthy. No team in the NFL has averaged more points the past 3 years with their healthy quarterback than this one. The idea that he's not a franchise guy is frankly asinine. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I understand the sticker shock. I understand that he is shouldering the burden of the lack of playoff success this team has suffered through for pretty much my entire lifetime. I get all of that. If you want to go try to find and tank and bottom out, go find the next top 3 quarterback, which Prescott is not, okay. But don't sit there and tell me he's at worse than Daniel Jones. That's not based in reality. So what do you guys think? Do you want to keep Dak Prescott? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section right now at the pinned comment of today's video. Now, the highest paid quarterback numbers look like this. And depending on when you get the deal done, would potentially impact where Dak sits on this list. Right now, I don't think it would be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. In the scenario where the Cowboys finally get forward and finally make it to where they want to be and make it to an NFC Championship game or beyond, like, that could change it all of a sudden. Like, this would be as an example, a Joe Flacco situation where, hypothetically, if you make it really far in the postseason, well, I mean, what else are you going to do? Probably not give him the fully guaranteed Deshaun Watson contract, by the way. But the salary cap has gone up by $42 million in the last 2 seasons alone. It will continue to rise. So the inflation is insane, both in real life and in the NFL salary cap. Do remember that when you see the various numbers involved for any potential seasons, not just for Dak Prescott, but for CeeDee Lamb, which we will come back to here in a little bit. But first, today's show is made possible by Game Time. Make sure you're not overpaying for your tickets. With the Game Time guarantee, you will always get the best price on your tickets. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you for 110% of the difference. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. They've got killer deals on last-minute tickets, plus that best price guarantee, so you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you will have. Download the Game Time app by going to GameTime.co, creating an account, and using code CowboysChat for $20 off your first purchase. Head to the profile section once you create your account, and then click redeem code, input Cowboys Chat right there. They'll give you $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but create an account and redeem that code Cowboys Chat for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets and the lowest price guaranteed. It's easy to find and buy tickets. And by the way, if you have that version right there, you click on your ticket, move your phone left to right. It'll actually show you what the view looks like as you move your phone, which I think is a fantastic feature of the app. Download the app today, GameTime.co, and get $20 off with code CowboysChat. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Let's move now to the CeeDee Lamb extension. Lamb has 2 years left on his deal, but I do wonder if he is waiting for Justin Jefferson to sign. Now, Jefferson's deal is going to be more than what CeeDee Lamb will get at the moment. That could always change if Lamb continues to wait. Here's what Jeremy Fowler reported recently. I think it was actually today, or maybe it was yesterday, one of the two, on the CeeDee Lamb extension talks. I'd be hard-pressed to believe Jefferson would take less than $30 million per year on any deal. Lamb faces a similar situation as a 2020 first-round pick. The Cowboys have extended key players like Terrence Steele, Trayvon Diggs, and Hooker this preseason, and would like to secure Lamb as well. But like Jefferson, Lamb seems to be in no rush. For both players, the price for their services could climb after another big year. Now, I thought this deal would be done. I thought this one might be a little bit easier, but if the player wants to wait, then it becomes more challenging, and you have 2 years of team control, so you're not in desperate straits. And I think at Lamb's contract cost, I don't know how much it really would rise unless he has a year better than Justin Jefferson does, which, you know what, I'm probably okay if that's the outcome. It's not a disaster that this deal is not done. It's only the first year able to do it. Make no mistake, I would like to get a CeeDee Lamb deal done before week 1. I would be very happy if the Cowboys made that happen, because I think it's only going to cost you a little bit more if you wait. I think CeeDee Lamb is a top 10, if not top 5 receiver in the NFL. I want to get that guy paid. Might not happen immediately, though. So who gets paid first? 88 for CeeDee Lamb, 4 for Dak Prescott. I do believe the Cowboys have to spend a little bit more cash before the start of the new league year next year. Paying one or both of those guys would actually help you reach the cash floor, which the Cowboys haven't quite met yet because the Joneses don't want to admit that they're very cheap. 88 for CeeDee Lamb, 4 for Dak. Go vote who gets paid first. Now, the highest paid receiver right now is Tyreek Hill, technically. The issue with the Hill deal is that his final year, the final year of the Tyreek Hill contract is kind of a fake year. It's not actually a void year like you see for so many players these days, but the final year carries a $45 million cash flow of a massive base salary, a roster bonus, and a workout bonus. So he's due $45 million that year alone isn't actually reflective of what he's making the first 4 years. So $30 million is still a pretty big jump over Devontae Adams, which also becomes part of a trade, and Cooper Kupp. So that number is That's what Jefferson wants, as he should get, by the way. But it is a little bit deceptive. That's why maybe the receiver market's kind of slowed down a little bit. It's not just, by the way, Jefferson and Lamb due for new deals, but players like T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, who could be sign-and-trade options potentially, could increase that floor number beyond that $25 million to approaching $30 million for CeeDee Lamb. Mike Evans, not going to get that number. He's due a new deal. If Michael Pittman and or Calvin Ridley, wow, those guys could get some big-time money as upcoming potential free agents, or at least franchise tag guys. Plus, you got Jamar Chase, not this year, but he'll be in Lamb's shoes that he is right now, next season. Now, Lamb was asked about his contracts, and as near as I can tell, much like Dak, Lamb's not involved. He's like, I'm going to let my agent, I pay an agent. He's going to do it for me. I've got a Super Bowl to win. I've got touchdowns to catch. That's it. I like that quote from Lamb. Although, get the deal done would be nice. Now, we will be live for Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys at the Giants, 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Will be live an hour before kickoff. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Do not miss out. YouTube.com/Cowboys TV. Some more contract talks here. Tyler Biadasz, maybe a decent player to pay. I do wonder if we are beginning to witness the rise of a true Tyler Biadasz situation where he's gotten better each year. I think his attitude in a positive way has been cranked up one more notch. And he's never going to be Travis Frederick, but starting caliber centers do not come available very often in free agency. And when they do, they get paid. We will leave Ryan Jensen on here for the purposes of the contract negotiations, but his career's over, unfortunately. Corey Linsley got the bag a few years ago. Jason Kelsey keeps getting one-year high-paid deals. Mitch Morse is at $9 million. There's a tier gap there, folks. Ted Karras, Ethan Posick, Bradley Bozeman, $6 million. Mitch Morse at under 10. Then Eric McCoy. If Tyler Biadasz has another solid year, not even great, not even top 5 center, just like borderline top 10, he could easily command $12 million. Do you want to pay that? Do the Cowboys want to? Franchise tag, by the way, isn't really an option because it's offensive linemen grouped together, and you can tag him for $20 million. We'll keep an eye on Biadasz this season. Other pending free agents, obviously you cannot pay Tony Pollard. He's franchise tagged. He'll be eligible next year for a deal after the year ends. I do wonder about Tyron Smith's long-term status because he just can't stay healthy. He's old now. He's got 1 year left. Jaron Kearse, I'd love to keep him. I think he means a lot to the locker room, but I doubt they retain all 3 veterans of Kearse, Dorrance Armstrong, and Stephon Gilmore, who, remember, has 1 year left after the trade from the Colts.